All right, friends, virtual reality adult entertainment isn't just coming, it's already here. In Japan, you can literally walk into a DVD store, rent a little booth, and get into fantasy using a little headset. And yes, I tried it myself at home with my partner using an Oculus. And it started out as really hot and sexy and interesting, but then it definitely turned into something a little bit awkward, which I'm gonna share with you later on in this video. So today, we're gonna break down what virtual reality porn is really like, the pros, the cons, talk about if it's really the future of sex or if it's just a fancy little gimmick. And I'm also gonna be sharing with you my personal experience. So first, to break it down for you, virtual reality porn is a type of adult entertainment that is meant to be viewed with a VR headset. So something like MetaQuest, HTC Vive, or PlayStation VR. So instead of watching a scene on a flat screen, you are immersed in a 360-degree environment that makes it feel like you are actually in and participating in whatever kind of things, sexy things, kinky things, whatever you got going on. Now in the West, VR adult entertainment is still very much a at-home solo or couple experience where, you can buy yourself one of those like Oculus headsets and have your own fun in, the privacy of your own home. But in other parts of the world, such as Japan, I saw just how mainstream this has become. So Japan is a leader in VR porn production, and they have DVD stores everywhere, which are full of VR porn sections where you can rent a little booth, and it's not this underground thing. It's very accessible and it's very normalized. So in places like Japan, it's commercialized as a social retail experience, like renting a booth, trying new tech, and almost treating it as entertainment research. They also have an adult VR fest in Tokyo every year, which showcases new adult VR gear, toys, and content in the very famous Akihabara district. Now, before I get into sharing my personal experience using VR porn with my boyfriend, and by the way, you're gonna hear from him as well, if you're watching this video sitting at home and you're considering trying VR, maybe it's something you've tried before, but there's still something inside of you that really wants to go for the real thing, but you struggle with flirting, with confidence, or just sparking new attraction, then I am really happy to announce the sponsor of today's video. And that is the F formula created by your personal wing girl, Marnie. If you never heard of my girl Marnie, she is a world-renowned dating expert specifically for men, and she has over 1.4 million subscribers on YouTube. So she has helped thousands, tens of thousands of guys across the world up their dating game. It's a science-backed flirting method that is a step-by-step guide that will help you learn how to flirt naturally, because let's be honest, we are not born with these skills. Honestly, guys don't always know how to flirt. So to be able to have an extra resource to learn from so you can practice is golden. This is not for the guys who are content on being alone forever, all right? This is for the ones, yes, I'm talking to you, who's finally ready to break free from their flirting failures and date the woman that they deserve. If you're not taking action now and doing something to change your situation, you're just setting yourself up to be left behind while letting others grab the opportunities / the woman that you are too scared to go after. So even if you think a girl is out of your league or not interested, this step-by-step formula can help you change that. It will show you exactly how to make any woman eager to escalate with you, to date you, yes, to maybe even sleep with you and to be with you. And because the Wing Girl Method is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an unbeatable deal. Just click the first link in the description and grab an exclusive preview of the F formula completely free. Plus, if you decide to pick up the full program, you will get a bonus 20% off. So if you're tired of failing at flirting and being stuck on the sidelines, stop wasting time and take control of your dating life today. So click the link below and get access right away. All right, now back to the video where I'm now going to share with you my personal experience using an Oculus headset with my boyfriend. So I wanted to share with everybody our experience using VR porn, the one and only time that we decided to use it, which was many years ago when we first met. And you had just bought a new toy?
Yeah.
What was it?
The Oculus, Facebook Oculus 2 or something. A big white thingy over your head, not very subtle.
And what was your initial intentions on using it?
I bought it for 2 reasons. I have experiences with you with it was number 1. And then I wanted to test the games.
Okay.
Number 2. And I thought, no, there was other thing. I thought this could be the future. I mean, 3D design of the hotel, blah, blah, blah. So I was kind of very curious about it.
Okay.
It was quite expensive.
How much was it?
$600-700. Yeah.
Okay.
Quite expensive.
You could probably find them cheaper now. Well, when you told me about it, I got excited. And I had a great idea that I wanted to try out, which was for him to find a VR porn video. I'm not really sure how you went about that, which I'll tell you in a second. And I wanted him to wear the Oculus while we were having sex together at the same time. So I wanted to like give him a double experience, which was him having the VR with like the girl doing whatever she was, but then me doing whatever she was like in real life to get that like insane extra stimulation. Did it work? Did it not work?
Well, it was extra.
It was extra. First of all, what kind of video did you pick?
First of all, that was not that easy. Okay, I was like, okay, I'll just find something. Then I couldn't find anything.
I read apparently it's quite hard to find because it's not
that
readily
easy.
available for like those types of devices. You have to go on kind of like the dark internet.
Well, I then saw that, so I went there, and even there, but dark. Sorry, not that dark, but like kind of not paying. I was curious, like, can't I just get like a sample or something? No, not that easy. So I needed to pay a subscription to a website that was like a VR banging something, let's say.
Okay.
And then it showed up on my credit card, and my staff is always like, is this business? That's not business.
Personal.
So on that website, then you had access to 20 videos, not that many, and it was super expensive, let's say $40 per month, something very crazy. And not that high quality. Like what you saw was not like HD.
I did take a peek for a second.
That was how I got to have the video. Then it was kind of like, oh my God.
But it was like a POV, right?
So it's a POV, but that part is like, then that's the weirdest. Then after that, everything's kind of a little weird about it. So you're like, okay, I'm in a room. Okay, it's like, there's a girl.
And you just see your legs and like your hands, right?
You see your legs, just not your leg and some guy's dick. Let's say you're like, okay. Then I'm kind of watching. Then the girls arrive. I remember she was like, oh, hello, baby. And kind of kissing.
Yeah.
Right? So she approaches very close. So you're like, kind of like at Imaxla when like stuff flies to you. Like, you're like, So I was like, skip the kissing. Then it was like, all right, blowjob. Right? And that was the part that, okay, blowjob. Now you're
So he was lying on the bed with the Oculus, like experiencing that. And I could hear her be like, oh, I'm going to go down on you now. And I was like, oh, okay, like time to go down on him. So I started going down on him. And
well, then that's where like it's super confusing. Like your brain is like, oh, okay, what the hell? And then it's kind of fun, but also like too confusing for me. Like even those games, you feel like, so sometimes your brain is like, I'm falling down.
well, do you think that if I wasn't actually performing the same things she was doing on you, that it would have made a better experience? Because you would have been able to focus more on, I guess, masturbating? I don't know. There wouldn't be so much stimulation.
If you're masturbating, then your brain is like, okay, I know like what's going on. I'm being tricked by this is TV and this is reality. If you're not, then that's like where your brain can get tricked. Like, oh, okay, that's actually this girl. But since there are differences, like slight differences on the, let's say, the timing and stuff, so constantly your brain is very like, plus at some point you're like, oh, this is weird. And then let's say you just look right, but you feel, at some point you have the edge of like, okay, but that after that it's dark. So you're like, okay, I can't look there. So you're stuck like kind of, okay, here. Here, I don't see any dark part. Plus, as soon as it moved a little bit, let's say you look down, up and down. I don't know if people get used to it, but for me, it's like, it feels like, ugh.
I remember you got kind of sick.
Yeah.
He got a little like, okay, I need you to stop, and you get to take it off, and he was like dizzy, and his heart was racing a little bit.
Like, this
It's a little too much.
It's a little too much. Wow. It was a cool experience. And it was kind of like, that's a cool experience. Let's never do that again.
I would try it again.
You know what? We're many years later. I'm sure the porn got better and the machines got better. I'd be down to try it again.
You should try it again.
Let's try it again.
Let's try it again.
Let's give it another shot. So first experience was like kind of a miss.
If you had to rate it 1 out of 5, what would you rate it?
In terms of pleasure or weirdness or...
In terms of pleasure and fun.
But fun is higher than pleasure.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was fun.
So like a 5 out of 5 fun and
Yes.
out of pleasure?
That's like...
I'd say probably like a 2.
2, yeah.
Pretty low.
It's hard to be less pleasurable than that. So let's give it a 2. For the first experience, I mean, maybe we just need practice. Because 3 days later, I was playing a game where you're like climbing a wall.
Yeah.
And I'm climbing, and then, so you need to like do like this, and then throw yourself on the other side. So I was like, oh, okay, they explained to you in the game. So I went like this, then I felt the whole thing move. I was like, and I never wore another Oculus ever again. I was like, okay, that's not for me. I was like sitting down, like kind of like taking 10 minutes it's weird, like what it does on the brain. But I'll say this, like this is for games and stuff like that. For like porn, they made it kind of smart because there's a guy laying on a bed. So you lay on a bed.
POV style.
Yeah, so you don't move. So you're just like not moving. That's, I guess, better. I would not like start to move around in the room like I'd be down to try. What about you?
We'll have to try some. I would try it again.
Yeah, maybe they have some girl thingy with me going down on you.
Oh, yeah. Actually, we should try it again. We should like find it in the boxes somewhere and take out the Oculus and like rub the dust off and give it another try.
Let's give it another try.
VR porn has its pros and its cons, and we're going to get into that right now. All right. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that little experience. Please, if you have any of your own experiences, I would love, love, love to hear them. So make sure you put them in the comments below. I'd love to hear the sexy ones, but not too sexy. Okay, you got to keep it PG for YouTube. But of course, I especially love the awkward and the silly kinds of experiences. And by the way, if you want to know about more of my experiences, I share a lot of, funny, sexy, personal stories on my Patreon. If you want to go check that out, you can click on the links in the description below. And it's also just a really great way to support my channel, to support my platform, and know that if you do, you are motivating me to continue learning about sex education and create content for you all. So, VR porn, let's get into the pros, shall we? Because there's always pros and cons to everything, especially when it comes to trying sexy things. So let's weigh out what those are. All right, so the first one is immersion. So VR porn puts you in an actual scene, all right? You're not just watching something, you are experiencing it. You can look around, feel like you're there, and it definitely can trick your brain in experiencing things in a different way. The second pro is exploration without the risk. Now, we all have some weird ass fantasies floating around in our head, all right? And chances are you probably don't actually want to act that out in real life. I mean, a lot of us do, but a lot of us don't, okay? We got some kinky shit going on in our head. But VR porn serves as a way that you can dip your toe in certain fantasies without harming yourself or harming others. Number 3 is couples play. Now, this is where I had the most fun. Watching my boyfriend use the VR was really hilarious, and it was also a little bit hot. I enjoyed watching him kind of get turned on for the parts that he was feeling okay, of course. And it became this shared experience that we could just kind of laugh about, and also turned into a little bit of foreplay, This is one of the things I love about trying different things sexually, because it's not always going to be hot and heavy. It's not always going to work out. I'd say most of the time, it's probably always going to be a little bit awkward and funny and silly, but these are stories that you can share forever, things that you could laugh about, things that you could learn about, what to do differently, what to do the same for next time to enhance the experience. So yeah, of course, things are not always perfect. So let's look at the cons now. Number 1 is, of course, the awkward tech. So the headset is bulky and the visuals aren't always perfect, like we described in our video. I remember Gab had to use those like hand maneuver things, so he couldn't really touch me, which made his mobility while I was on top of him performing oral sex or riding him a little bit difficult. So yeah, if you're doing it with a partner, there's just this funny little disconnect when someone is in this whole other world. Number 2 is, of course, potential disconnection. So like any kind of porn, if VR porn replaces intimacy instead of enhancing it, it could definitely become a barrier. And finally, number 3, the cost. Headsets and subscriptions aren't cheap, as we described in our video. This is definitely more of an investment than your average adult entertainment video, so make sure you keep that in mind. So, do I think VR porn is the future? I mean, maybe. It's fun, it's novel, and it definitely has potential as the technology improves. At the same time, I think it's really important that we remember the cons, like how VR porn can set unrealistic expectations, or how isolating it could feel if it replaces real connection instead of enhancing it. So my take, treat it as a fun tool in the kit and not the whole toolbox. So final verdict, VR porn is wild, it's creative, and definitely worth trying at least once, either solo or with your partner. The future of sex tech is only just beginning, and honestly, I can't wait to see where it goes. And before you go, a quick shout out to the sponsor of today's video, the F Formula from the Wing Girl Method, a guide to help you flirt more naturally and confidently without the cheesy pickup lines. So make sure you click on the link below this description to get access to your free exclusive preview today. Thank you so much for watching this video. You can like, subscribe, do all that stuff, check out my Patreon, and I will see you all in the next video. Je vous aime.